action to help you lead yourself and others better. Let's jump in. Welcome back to 1 Minute Wins. I am Dr. Dana Martin, and this podcast exists to help leaders, to help people grow on purpose, one intentional action at a time. Today's episode, 1 Minute Win number 42, which corresponds with the book 1 Minute Wins, Volume 1. Listen to understand. And let's be clear right out of the gate here. Most leadership breakdowns aren't communication problems. They're listening problems. We talk a lot about clarity, over and over again about clarity. We talk about trust. But neither one survives without real listening. Our anchor quote today is from Stephen Covey, and it may be one of the most honest leadership observations ever written. Most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. That single sentence explains countless meetings, arguments, broken relationships. And so today we're talking about what true listening looks like and why it's one of the strongest leadership skills you can build. So, true listening fosters connection and influence. Listening isn't passive. It's not waiting quietly for your turn to talk. Listening is active. And within leadership, it's active leadership. When leaders listen to understand, they communicate something powerful. They communicate that you matter, that your perspective counts, and that I'm not just here to respond, I'm here to learn. Authority may get the attention, but listening earns trust. And trust always amplifies influence. I once watched a leader lose a room without ever raising his voice. Every time someone spoke, he nodded, but cut them off halfway through their sentence. He wasn't being rude. He wasn't aggressive. He was just in a hurry to reply. And by the end of the meeting, people stopped contributing, not because they didn't have anything to say or to add, but because they felt unheard. Now, contrast that with another leader I worked with who asked one follow-up question after every response. The same room, the same topic, completely different energy. People leaned in because they felt understood. Listening didn't slow the meeting down. People felt connected. And it made everything about that meeting and about that leader more effective. Studies on workplace communication consistently show that employees who feel heard are significantly more engaged, and more likely to trust leadership. Employees who feel heard are significantly more engaged and more likely to trust leadership. Why is that? Because listening reduces defensiveness. It increases the psychological safety, and it surfaces better ideas. When people feel heard, they don't need to fight to be understood. That's not soft leadership. That's smart leadership. I'm tapping my head with my finger, my temple with my finger. That's smart leadership. So here's another truth worth visiting. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Old Teddy Roosevelt said that. Listening is how care becomes visible. You don't demonstrate care through speeches, you demonstrate it through attention. And attention is one of the rarest leadership resources today. I've caught myself listening to a reply more times than I'd like to admit. Thinking ahead or formulating how to respond. Mentally moving on before the person even finishes. And every time I slow myself down, really slow down, the outcome improves. Conversations deepen, resistance drops, and understanding increases. And listening doesn't require agreement. It just requires presence. and presence changes everything. So how do we do it? Today we have 4 steps. Step number 1, I need to pause here and pull away. One of the followers of the 1 Minute Win podcast, Andrew, pointed out that sometimes I don't say the number of the step. And if you're taking notes, that makes that difficult to follow along, and you end up scribbling in a space that was meant for something else, etc. So, thank you, Andrew. I can be taught and learn also. I'm doing that every day. Because of that feedback, from now on, I will be more intentional about being clear on what the steps are in the 4 steps. Thank you, Andrew. So, what are the 4 ways to listen to understand intentionally? Step number 1, pause your response. You don't need to answer immediately. We've done a 1 minute win on the power of that pause. Step number 2, ask one clarifying question. You don't want to come across as being challenging. You just want to understand. Step number 3, reflect back what you heard. And this confirms understanding and builds trust. This is what we used to call active listening. We still call it active listening. And step number 4, respond with intention. Don't be reactive. Leaders who listen don't lose control. They gain clarity. So what are the 4 steps? 1, pause your response. 2, ask one clarifying question. Number 3, reflect back what you heard. And number 4, respond with intention. So here's your reflection question. Who needs your full attention today? Not your divided attention or distracted attention, your full attention. Where would listening change that outcome? Your action step today is simple and uncomfortable for many leaders. Ask a question today and listen without interrupting. Just once. No fixing, no correcting, no rushing, just listening. Listening is influence before authority. When leaders listen well, people follow willingly. When leaders don't, people comply reluctantly. And culture reflects what leaders pay attention to. So if you want engagement, if you want trust, if you want commitment, start by listening to understand. If this resonated with you, or you believe it may resonate with someone else, share it with who lead people every single day. You'll find more coaching resources, books, etc. over at dmilm.com. And don't forget to check out the books 1 Minute Win, Volume 1. Take control of your growth journey 1 minute at a time. Always remember, be the example.